Hey everybody, welcome to Hug the Chefs. I'm Jared Hug.
And I'm Dane Hug.
So, new year, new resolutions. We're going to be showing you some healthy options here. Kind of get rid of this old muffin top I've got. I'm going to be making falafel, and Dane?
I'm going to be making a lettuce wrap. Now I'm going to be using Jared's falafel.
You can't use my falafel. That's not this kind of show.
Today I can. Yeah? New year. All right, and then I'll also be doing a curry chicken with this as well. Now, before we get into our ingredients, first we're going to take our Mediterranean tequila shot.
And I might need a Mediterranean chaser, because...
First thing for everything.
Yeah.
Slam.
Slam. Okay, so here we are with the falafel. The real important thing that I want to stress to everybody is that do not use canned chickpeas. You want to use dried chickpeas, and you want to soak them pretty much overnight. Now that does make this a little bit longer of a thing, but if you know you're going to make it, just soak them the night before. Soak them in water, that is. And dog, get out of here. All right, so let's go over the ingredients here. So we've got our dried chickpeas that are now soaked overnight. We've got Moroccan tantan seasoning here. We have cumin, baking powder, chili powder, parsley, cilantro, white onion, Vidalia onion, half an orange, salt, pepper. This isn't the amount you want, but everybody can go actually look down below and see all the amounts here. I'm gonna have the recipe on there. Garlic and AP flour. We also have our blender here. I wanted to use a blender because I thought, that's what most people are gonna have in their house, so this makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so let's start with the ingredients. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add our onions in first. The onions are gonna release some liquid, which is gonna keep all this moving in the actual blender. So onions, then your chickpeas, squeeze your orange in, blend that, then add everything else and blend those. Okay, so let's get blending. All right, so I got my onions, my chickpeas, and the garlic in here. What we're gonna do is squeeze our orange into this. I use seedless oranges just because you don't want seeds in here. That's kind of a big deal. And what we're gonna do is we're going to pretty much just pulse it. Yeah. Okay, so turns out that blender may not have been the best idea. Now, it worked, but it took a lot of stirring, and I had to add a little bit more olive oil. So if you have a food processor, absolutely use the food processor. That's what I've always done in the past, but I thought that I would make this a little bit easier for everyone. You can also rough shop this if you want it kind of to be, the consistency to be a little bit more rough. So yeah, anyways, now what we're gonna do, the only thing I didn't have my salt, didn't have my pepper, and I didn't have my flour. So we're gonna put it into this bowl, and we're gonna mix everything up and get to the consistency we wanna get to. Oh, that sound. Also, this may not have been the best blender ever, but you know what? It gave us what we wanted. Honestly, the consistency is not that bad. And, so I'm not 100% disappointed. Just, I think I can admit when I may or may not have made a mistake. Okay, but you kind of see what more or less you're looking for. You want it a little chunky, so it has some, mouthfeel to it. There we go. Here we are going to add our flour. Add a little bit of salt. Wait. And the pepper. Now, we're gonna mix all this up. You want the consistency to not be too thick, but you don't want it too thin, because once you put it into the pan and you're frying it, you want it to hold together. You don't want it to just go and dissipate into nothingness. Since I did have to add a little bit more olive oil into the process because the ingredients weren't going down to the bottom of the blender. I'm actually going to add about another 2 tablespoons of flour to kind of bring this together and, you know, make it so that the olive oil holds everything. Okay, so here we are. Here's our final product here. You see it's still kind of goopy, which is what you want. You want it to be kind of goopy. I know it seems like it's going to break apart in the fryer, but it won't. It'll stay together pretty good. I did have to add a little bit more salt, and you know, here's the thing. You can add all those flavors I had. You know, if you like more cumin, add more cumin. If you like, you know, a lot more flavor, add more salt, add more pepper, add more chili powder. You know, I ended up adding a lot because I like my things real flavorful. So I use vegetable oil here. You know, the temperature is anywhere from about 265 to 300 degrees. That's about where you want it. Any higher is going to kind of burn before you cook the center of your falafel. It's important. These are all raw ingredients, so you want to cook it. Otherwise, it's going to taste like raw garlic and onion, which is not that appetizing. All right, so we're going to take a little scoop here, and we're just going to drop it in. Keep it moving around so it doesn't stick to your pan. You know, you want to flatten them out just a little bit. You know, you can see a little bit of it breaking off, but overall, you know, it's pretty much staying together. So we're going to do 5 here, so that Dane has enough. You know, I would suggest using a metal spoon. If you use a plastic utensil, it might melt in the oil. I don't know what kind of utensils you're using, but I actually have some pretty good non-stick utensils, so they're not going to melt, but I would stick with metal if you have it. You know, everybody, be careful with oil like this. It can absolutely catch on fire, explode. That's why I like to use vegetable oil or canola oil. It has the highest, you know, smoke point, so you can really keep it rolling. I did have my stove on about 5 here. We're gonna move it up to 6 just to kind of give it a little bit more color. And then when you're done with these, put them on a plate with a paper towel on the plate so it soaks up any excess oil, so you just don't have this incredibly oily end result. Stop? Yeah, stop.
Now,
Okay, so you kind of see where we're at here. You know, you see the color of it about where you want. You know, I did have to turn my oil up just a tad because this one was a little soft and kind of breaking apart. So you do need, you know, your oil to be a little bit hotter. But like I said, it was about 260 degrees when I dropped these in. So I honestly believe the 300 is going to be your best bet. I actually don't know what's happening with this one. So we're going to take it off. Although it still looks delicious. But these 4 are staying together perfect. And the color on them is absolutely beautiful. You know, if you go much higher heat, it's going to burn it and not actually cook the inside. So, like I said, keep it at kind of medium heat. All right, so here's our final product. This is them all fried up. They pretty much golden brown and perfect. You know, what's going to happen next is Dane's going to go ahead and make his chicken wrap, and then we're going to add some of this to a different wrap. So, all right, everybody, thanks.
Hey guys, now that Jared's finished his falafel, what we're gonna do is make your rice. It's long grain white rice. So first things first, we got it on low heat. Get the pan nice and hot before you put in your butter. Now you can use oil, but I prefer butter. We're gonna use 2 ounces of butter. We're gonna throw this in, let it melt down. Don't want it too hot, that's why I said low heat. Because the smoke point of butter is very low. So, we melt that. I'm going to do 1 cup of rice. Now you can use spoon, spatula, whatever you'd like. Make sure you cook it very nicely. The grains of rice will turn white when they're cooked. Now, you're going to do this before you add your water. So it kind of cooks the rice into itself. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it kind of keeps flavor in and cooks the starch off of it. Now you're going to cook this probably for about 30 seconds, and then Normally it's 2-to-1 ratio, so 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water, but we're gonna do 1 3/4 of a cup of water because I want it a little al dente. So once you put this water in, you're gonna turn it up to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, turn it back down to a simmer. We're gonna simmer this rice until all the water is gone in this rice. So you got 1 cup and 3/4 of a cup. Now you're going to turn it up, probably medium to medium-high heat. Let the water cook into the rice. Once there's no more water, it'll be good to go. All right, everybody, now that our rice is cooking, what we're going to do, now that the water is about 3/4 of the way reduced, we're going to take some aluminum foil and cover it so the steam cooks it a little extra, so it's a little above al dente, but not completely cooked. We're going to coat that, and while this rice is finishing up, we're going to come over here to our slaw. Now I've got red cabbage, I've got yellow onion, I've got julienne carrots, some sweetie drop peppers, got some parsley and cilantro. Now I pre-made this slaw dressing. All the ingredients will be listed below in the description. And just because I have some weird fetish for sesame seeds, I like just the texture of it. I like the consistency. Just maybe a little bit. So good. I don't know what it is. Anyways, so we're gonna mix all these ingredients together. We're gonna mix it together with slaw. Now, if you have gloves or tongs or just mixing spoons and forks, whatever, you can do that. I just wash my hands nice and clean. So I'm gonna mix this all with my hands. All right, so first things first, your onion. If you don't like onion, you know what? Don't add onion. But I love onion. So then our carrots, peppers, parsley, cilantro. Now, when we mix all of this together, it's going to take a minute because there is some sugars and salt and a bunch of ingredients that need to set into the vegetables for your slaw. So this isn't just going to be a mix and serve type of thing. Mix and probably let sit for about 10 minutes. So this is my curry style with Vativan spice curry as our slaw mixture. So I'm going to add this in here. Mix it all together. And this is going to be a topping to our curry chicken and or our falafel chicken wrap, which will be done over lettuce. This looks beautiful. I can't wait to try some of this. Of course, if you need more salt or anything, you can add this whenever you'd like. That looks pretty solid to me. There you go. Just mix it all together, let it sit for 10 minutes. All right, now that our slaw is marinating, we're gonna go into our chicken. I've got garlic, cilantro, and parsley. Now I'm gonna do a very small dice with this. I'm also gonna mix in a little Vativan spice, which is curry. All right, so first things first, we gotta small dice our chicken. All right, so we got our Vativan chicken here. I'm just gonna saute this up with some oil, a little bit of butter, but that's it. Just let it slowly cook. You cook it too fast, it'll get too crispy and way too cooked. Garlic will burn, all the herbs will burn. So low heat.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching Hug the Chefs. We're about to make our final product, and thank you very much to all of our sponsors who have been supporting us this entire time.
Seriously, you guys are great.
Yeah, and so I guess, Dane, let's wrap this up.
I hate you so much. Take the shot.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Slam.
All right.
All right.
You're wrapping.